Hello friends, this is Jim with Science Talk. In this video today, I'm going to discuss with you plastic in water. Many people go around drinking, bottled water and so forth. Well, how safe is that bottled water? Well, bottled water sampled from manufacturers around the world is full of what's called microplastics. These are tiny plastic particles that are too small to see, and they seem to be ubiquitous. Tests of 250 bottles from 11 bottled water brands revealed microplastics in 93% of the samples, with an average of 325 particles per 34 fluid ounces, which is basically 1 liter of water. Scientists from the State University of New York in Fredonia make this report. Now, it's important to note that the report has not yet been submitted for publication in a scientific journal. That is, it has not been peer-reviewed yet. It's my understanding is that it is in process. However, it is still of concern that such findings seem to be what's happening. Now, microplastics typically measure under about 5 millimeters in length, 0.2 inches. Now, 5 millimeters is kind of a significant size. Basically, we're talking about something like the size of a small rice grain or a sesame seed, something like that. Okay. We also see, for example, microbeads in health and beauty products as an example. Now, this was according to NOAA, which is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Here's what is disturbing. Humans have produced an estimated 9 billion with a B, tons of plastic. And plastic is the most common form of garbage that is found in the world's oceans. Look for a video coming up in the near future where I'm going to be discussing the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Microplastics are so small that they can typically go undetected, even with filtrations methods in place. Studies have shown and demonstrated that microplastics are present in nearly every environment on Earth and can be found in the guts of many types of seabirds and marine life. I'll be talking more about that later in this video. And according to this new report, as I just mentioned at the outset, microplastics are also widely distributed in bottled drinking water. Whether or not these findings are verified by scientists not associated with this study, the health risk of microplastics can be widespread. They're not quite sure, but surely having plastics in your gut is not necessarily a good thing. The World Health Organization, the WHO, is getting ready to, quote unquote, their words, launch a review into microplastics and their impact on public health. They basically take a conservative approach, saying that more data is required before they can make an assessment on the impact microplastic will have on human health, and that's understandable. But still, we need to document and verify the physiological effects ingesting microplastic has on humans. Now, there's kind of an interesting recent discovery, and it's quite by accident. Scientists somehow appear to have found a bacteria that can produce an enzyme that can break down plastic. Because plastic tends not to break down, or break down very little, if at all, in the environment. So if this can be verified, this certainly does have some implications. It reminds me of the discovery of penicillin. That was quite by accident. Lots of times, many studies in science do happen as a matter of serendipity. Now, this next story builds on what I just said earlier about this previous study, about plastics being found in marine life and birds and so forth. 65 pounds. Okay? 65 pounds, that's basically something like 30 kilograms of plastic trash tore this whale apart from the inside. A young male sperm whale was found washed up dead on the southeastern coast of Spain. A necropsy was performed, and when they opened up the whale, they pulled out nearly 30 kilograms of plastic trash that was crammed into the dead whale's stomach and intestines, including some of the items found: dozens of plastic bags, chunks of mangled rope and glass, and other plastic items, plastic bottles, and so forth. This whale was 33 feet long, 10 meters. He was found dead on the beach at Cabo de Palos, near Murcia, Spain. Researchers at El Valle Wildlife Recovery Center performed the necropsy and determined that the whale died from a form of abdominal infection called peritonitis. Now, peritonitis is basically an infection of the peritoneum, which is basically has to deal with the guts. Now, you have this plastic that's stuck in its stomach and intestines. It is not being broken down. Aside from whether or not infection result, that's causing blockage. The blockage alone will kill the animal, and it will be an extremely painful situation. It's a horrible way to go. Okay. The whale simply could not expel this amount of plastic. And so basically the digestive system most likely became impacted and infected. This gives us a hint of how much plastic waste humans are dumping into the world's oceans. Scientists estimate that there are 5 trillion pieces of plastic in the ocean now, and millions of tons of additional trash being added every year. Let me repeat that. 5 trillion, with a T, pieces of plastic in the ocean now, and millions of tons of additional trash added to the water every year. According to a recent study in the journal Scientific Reports, there are more than 87,000 tons, which is 79,000 metric tons, of plastic floating just in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a drifting trash heap with an area 3 times the size of France. That's a lot of garbage. This debris will find its way not only into large mammals like whales, but also birds, fish, sea turtles, and even the deepest dwelling crustaceans in the Mariana Trench. So somehow, this plastic is floating or sinking all the way down through the water column. Mariana's Trench is over 7 miles deep. The presence of plastics in seas and oceans is one of the greatest threats to the conservation of wildlife throughout the world. This is a statement by Consuela Rosario, who is the Director General of the National Environment for the Murcian government. As I said, there will be a video upcoming soon talking in length about this Great Pacific Garbage Patch and what it means. Pretty much know what it means. What can be done to alleviate this problem? Well, stop making trash out of plastic. Reduce the amount of plastic trash. Reduce the amount of trash we create. Plastic is a product of petroleum products. So about 8% of the oil that's refined becomes plastic. And what is interesting to note is that a huge user of plastic products is the medical industry. Catheter tubes, IV bags, and so forth. Vials to, for injections and so forth. The medical industry uses a lot of plastic. It's convenient. You use it once, you throw it away. If you have glass products, you have to what? Autoclave it. You have to sterilize it. That's time consuming. So humans need to start thinking about what we are doing, the trash we are creating, and how we can alleviate and lessen the amount of trash, plastic or otherwise, we create. Thank you for your time. If you like this video, please share this video with others. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell button so that you get a notification every time I drop a video. And I hope you will consider supporting my work by going to patreon.com/Science Talk with Jim Massa. Thank you for your time. Share this video. Tell others of my work.